From Studio A at One Biloxi Square in the beautiful city of Lake Worth, Texas. Welcome in, everybody, to the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
Indeed, welcome.
It is good to have everybody with us. Another day of halfway quarantine. Yeah. So we just got to make do with what we do. I know we, all of us have gotten haircuts, and some of us have gone up to the field office in our limited capacity up there. And I understand today that some of the bars around the state of Texas can open from 6 until 10 p.m. tonight, but here's the key. No customers or patrons. It's supposed to be just for a kind of a dry run-through so that the National or the Texas Bars Association can show the governor that the employees can make sure you're going to be staying far enough apart and take care of everything and make sure the germs are all clean.
So they're going to come in and
make
sure that the chairs are 6 feet apart. You know what you're saying?
Well, they're going to be practicing. I was watching a news story on it this morning, and I thought it was kind of funny.
I bet we know somebody that don't think it's kind of funny.
Oh, I can assure you of that one. Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, we got a pretty good show today,
yes,
and we had quite a few comments from you folks, and I really do want to thank you, Pappy and I do, because, man, we've had some good ones, and some of them we had to clean up a little bit, but
I hate when
that's happens. Yeah, but
that's still my contention.
Somebody's ears may fall off, you know. So, but anyway, our comment or our program today: will this coronavirus coverage ever end? And we will be sharing what you wrote in so that our viewers can understand what you're thinking about. But anyway, it should be a good show, and we got some information about our big special Memorial Day show coming up.
It's going to be a killer show.
That we'll be talking about here in just a few minutes as we wind up our program today. But before we get into it, I want to say thank you to our sponsor.
Illustrious sponsor, M&L Distributors, right out of flatlands of Odessa, Midland area, Texas.
Odessa.
Which carries
Hey, Midland, Odessa, how you doing?
Salute.
Salute.
To my fellow flatlanders.
Boy, you talk about some good tequila. Circulo
tequila.
Yes,
right
sir.
Out of Jalisco, Mexico. Works pretty good.
Yeah, and as my partner Pappy used to say, if your favorite spirits store does not have this tequila, you need to ask the owner or the manager to order it. Just call the distillery down there.
Tell them we told you to do so.
Just tell them Grandpa and Pappy told you to call.
Get in touch with Miss Lucy or Marco, and she'll hook them right up.
She will do that.
That's right.
And we thank them very, very much.
Yep.
We'll be doing some things with them in the very near future that could benefit you guys out there.
Well, I hope they can benefit me because I'm fresh out. Senior.
Well, when you... I will say this. A Grandpa and Pappy show has put it through its tests. Mostly the Pappy show. And it's got his seal of approval, so
good stuff.
I believe him.
It's top shelf tequila. And also I would like to thank our very own Pappy and the Divine Miss K, sponsors of the show. They've got a realty company, Palmore Real Estate.
Thank you very much for that.
Who supplies our beautiful One Biloxi Square studio.
Yep.
And good to have you on board.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah. Hey, listen, let's get right into the program. Again, the name of our program today is Will This Coronavirus Coverage Ever End?
Oh, boy.
We really did get some good comments in on this, and we're going to share that with you right now, and you can draw your own special opinion on what we're talking about. Let's see. Let's start it off with Arbrit Sue Yeager. Said her ears are bleeding. She says all she hears anymore is Charlie Brown's voices going wah 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 wah.
I always thought that was a Beach Boys song. Wah, 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 wah,
Or
wah,
the
wah.
beginning of a Jimi Hendrix song.
Yeah, a little wah wah bar action. Ginger Lynch said she's definitely tired of hearing about it. I'm with you, Ginger.
Oh, absolutely. Daryl Bowles of Paris, Texas, kind of gave us, Pappy, an opinion on the other side, but wait till you hear what he says and you can understand. Daryl, who lives out in Paris, Texas, said until someone he loved was impacted by COVID-19, he was somewhat indifferent to the coverage. Now, I'm constantly following all precautions and praying for healing of my loved ones, and all affected by this horrible illness. When they tell you your lungs look like they are filled with what looks like shattered glass and breathing becomes more difficult, it is scary. A stay in the ICU is enough to scare you to death if COVID doesn't take your life.
Ain't it so, brother?
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like having the flu, too. I mean, you don't mess around with the flu either. The flu will kill you.
That's right.
And it has killed several thousands of people
Yep.
every year. You know, so this is something, is this the new norm, Pappy?
Only for the people that don't do what they're supposed to do.
And you know another
Common
thing
sense.
that
there
Special
goes again.
K and I kind of noticed, and we talked about the other day, is have you noticed that just about every commercial on television now is about you staying home?
Yeah.
Is it further mind games that this is the new norm? Are we never going to get back to normal?
Well, I think that's an agenda, part of an agenda. And you know me, I mean,
He's not very opinionated, folks, but
I think there's a lot of overrating in it. I mean, mind you, it's serious. Yes, it does kill people, but Jesus Christ, you can't stay home and infect your loved ones and starve to death while you're doing it. You know,
no, you can't.
You got to put beans on the table. You got to pay the rent. So
Little beans and cornbread never hurt anybody.
by God, now you're talking, brother. Casey Palmore of Seagoville says she's sick of it. Let's talk some baseball.
Well,
She must be related to you. Want to talk? I'm sorry.
That's a nephew of mine.
Yeah.
Big baseball fan. He's
Yeah.
also a Baptist minister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is my brother Archie's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Now.
He loves baseball, and he loves to talk baseball. So, Casey, maybe they'll get that wound up here. I heard maybe June 1st that the Major League Baseball is talking about putting a limited schedule together, and it may start in July.
Really?
So, anyway, they're going to get together on June 1st and talk about it and possibly having a limited schedule starting in July. But we'll see how that goes, and we'll follow
And
it
if
for
you're
you.
willing to pay enough money for pro ball, you'll have a good seat 6 foot away from somebody else, I'm sure. So,
Well, that's true. The Divine Miss Helen
I know her.
says anything but COVID-19 or 20 or 21 or whatever it is now. She says, yep, baseball sounds good.
I didn't know she was a baseball fan.
Well, I think what she's talking about is just anything besides talking COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can testify to. Stephanie Williams said, yes, she and her family are over it all now. Don't be completely over it. I mean, be reverent to it, but carry on. You know.
Charlie George, I think she's either living in Quitman out in East Texas or in the Tyler area.
Yeah.
Says she has been sick of it since the first week it came out.
I know, right?
Charlie, I'm right there with you, girl.
I've been pissing and moaning about this the whole time from day one. I mean, tell us what we need to do and move on to the next.
Let's go with it. Yeah. Now, Greg, I'm going to let you read Greg's, but
Greg Hill.
the philosopher Greg Hill.
Pretty sharp cookie, old Greg.
He is very sharp.
He says, I want to hear about it daily as long as it's stats. What is working, what is not, and progress on treatments and vaccines. Sensational and opinionated journalism is what he's worn out on. And I agree with that. And that's from both sides.
Yeah.
He loves watching OAN during the mornings when they are just reporting the news around the world with factual bullet points and no opinions. It reminds him of the news in the 60s and 70s. They just report the news later in the day when they go to, what is this?
Op-ed.
Op-ed.
Opinion editorial.
I have no clue what that is, Greg. Sorry. Opinion op-ed reporting. Anyway, it is tolerable and somewhat down the middle, leaning a bit to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, hey, I like OAN, and he's right.
Yeah. They
Just
don't.
the
They
facts.
don't. They don't
the
do
facts.
anything but the fact. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Boyd Palmore in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
says he is with us. Anything. He said he had rather listen to silence.
Hear the crickets, huh? Kinda like
And
me
where he
sometimes.
lives up there's a lot of crickets. I can tell you
I
that.
bet you. That's why the fishing's so good. Scott Diker in Capel said he turned on ABC's 5:30 news last night for the first time in weeks. It was only COVID-19. There was no mention of the Flynn reversal or the DOJ docs release showing virtually the entire Obama administration requesting unmasking of Flynn's call, all of which the FBI reported that there was no illegality. Who do you want to
That's
believe?
Scott
You know?
Dacre.
Yeah.
How you doing, Scotty? I hadn't seen you in a long, long time, my friend.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Kirkland says he is not only sick of it, but would love to see the truth, not the libtard version. And he would love to see the real news around the world, too. What happened to Afghanistan or North Korea?
Yeah. I believe it's Russell Kirkland, who happens to be a cousin of mine up in Wyoming.
Kirkland? Is it Kirkland or Curlin?
Kirkland.
Kirkland.
K-I-R-L-I-N.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I misspelt it when I was transcribing the comments. I apologize, Russell.
Oh, Russ is good. He's a good egg. And my sweet little daughter-in-law, Cassie Terry, said she is so over it, but just because she personally has not been affected or have seen the virus run its course. We only have one case in our town, which is down south of Houston in Lake Jackson, is where she's at. Just one. I don't see why there's so much hysteria, she says. There are so many other sicknesses and diseases that are just as or more deadly that people don't even bat an eye at. Mm-hmm. Let us just focus on self-health, boosting our immune system, and doing things like going for a walk, eating healthy, taking our vitamins, drink plenty of water, and some sunshine and exercise. Very important, that sunshine and exercise stuff. Mm-hmm. She went on to say that a healthy immune system is our first line of defense in battling the sickness. Mm-hmm. Our bodies were made to heal and fight, which you're absolutely right, Cass. And we are made to breathe oxygen, not CO2, which is exactly what you're intaking when you're wearing a mask.
That's exactly what I was fixing to say.
And that's why I don't wear a mask.
You know, I understand in some form or fashion having to wear a mask in certain situations. I do. I'm not that crazy or stupid or insensitive. However, you stop and think about this. For those of you who are wearing masks constantly, you're breathing your own carbon monoxide, your CO2.
You're recycling what is coming out.
That's right. If you have any kind of, shall we say, sickness or disease, Pappy, and you're breathing it out, you're breathing it right back into your lungs.
Absolutely.
You know, so
absolutely.
And
they're saying something comparable to ventilators. Ventilators are not supposed to be that big in helping this
well,
virus.
it's kind of like our friend Eric Hudson up at the field office said that if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Yeah.
If you don't,
Yeah.
don't.
Well, in your case, Eric, it helps improve your looks, and that's probably the only reason he's wearing one.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh. Don't let Michaela hear you say that. She may shoot you.
She don't need a mask. It's very pretty. But yeah, Cass, you're right, and I couldn't agree more, sweetheart. Give my little grandbaby a hug for me.
We've had
Papa needs some baby loves. Mm-hmm. But thanks for sending it in, sweetheart.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cassie. Let's see, back to the comments. John Mason said he is so sick of all of this coverage that he has restricted the TVs in his house to be turned to any news station. He says people need to wake up and quit letting the government and world leaders turn you into their puppets.
Yep.
Get out, get some sun, soak up the environment, and start living again.
I like that, John. That
Hey,
makes sense.
that's one of those. That's one of those statements that's common sense. I love common sense comments.
Those two words again.
There's those two words. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Rogers said on Twitter that it's all a crock of.
Yeah, we cleaned this one.
I think he misspelled shit, and that the news stations should get back to reporting actual news from all around the world. And I kind of agree with that. But I mean, even world events. Who the hell do you want to believe?
I tried. I really tried to mask that.
Did a pretty good job of it too.
I'll never know what's coming out of his mouth. I really don't. Jimmy S. said he saw an article. I like this one. Jimmy S. said he saw an article that the AC Nielsen company reported that news stations are devoting over 80% of their shows on COVID-19 coverage.
I thought it was more.
He says that ought to tell you why Americans are getting sick, no pun intended, of all of the news coverage.
I agree. That's all you hear. Turn on any news station, COVID this, COVID that.
Now, I admit it, Pappy. I mean, I like to watch Fox News, and I read their news online too, and keep up with things like that because that's the closest thing I can find to the truth. I don't know if it's absolute truth or anything like that, but I've noticed that since this ruling has come down on the former security administrator Flynn, that they've started covering that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But still, like this morning, they're talking about the COVID-19 virus, getting America back to work, what it's going to take, what are the fears, what are the... Now, let me say something here. Governor Abbott of the state of Texas is wanting to hurry up and get our economy going again.
Yeah.
Okay? You've got to realize, people, that if we start opening up things again, which I hope we do and do it quickly, because some of the comments in our prior shows, Pappy, they were saying, hey, it's my right to go out. If I get sick, I get sick. I'll stay home, take the medicine, get well.
Yeah.
Okay? But we have got to get our businesses going again. And I am depending on you, the viewers, that once this happens, get out and start spending money.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're dying to get out and go to a restaurant, a bar, a department store.
How the hell did I do that?
Yeah.
You know, we had a Cracker Barrel yesterday. And we spoke of this when I came in studio this morning. It's not the same. Food was still good. Service was great.
Well, the environment. Nothing in the environment. The things they've allowed to open up, the environment's nothing like it was.
Well, you have to stop and think, too. If they opened 100%, if they opened up 100% nationwide, there's already enough damage that some of it's irreversible. Look what it's done to the small business people.
That's true.
I mean,
that is very true.
I mean, you just smashed the hell out of a lifelong dream. You know?
Yeah. And then
So
the question becomes, do they have enough oomph to give it a try again?
Well,
Retail sales were down 16.4% in April. So
Retail
shop,
sales?
Shop, shop.
Yeah.
yeah.
Retail sales down 16.4% in April. And that's because they're scaring you to death, closing down the businesses, and not letting you out of your house.
Well, I bet internet retail sales is higher than ads on a giraffe back, if you will. I bet they're kicking right now.
Oh, Lord.
I bet they're kicking. Let's get back and finish up our comments here.
There we go.
Corey Allison said America just needs to wake up, turn off the news, and get on about living your lives. It's too short to fall under the spell that you're going to die. I agree with this. Sure, you're going to die one day. Just know you are. Accept it and live your life out.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's kind of the way I feel about it. Something's going to get you.
Yeah. When and where is only determined by the big guy
That's not us.
upstairs,
We were pre-stamped the day we hit the flat rock.
When your number's pulled, there's not enough you can do to
That's
get
right.
that changed. I can tell you that.
I got
So,
a deal worked out with him. So
oh, did you?
yeah, Sir Kilo. Is that, it's involved.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Don't strike me, Lord.
He won't be drinking no more wine. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yep.
Rhonda McKinney said that she fell for the hysteria in the beginning, but now she believes it has been overhyped from the very start.
I agree.
She also wonders what she's going to do with all the toilet paper she bought.
Well, if it's fast dissolving, I'll buy some from you. But if it's not, good luck. At least you won't have a dirty butt the rest of your days.
I had
That's
a
a
great
good thing.
solution last night. I was reading Special K that comment when I transcribed it. I said, well, you can always give your family laxatives,
Yeah.
clean them out, and have plenty of toilet paper.
All right. Or have a flashback. Go wrap a neighborhood full of houses or something, like a good old days, high school and stuff.
There you go.
Just don't turn the water hose on, because if you get caught, that's a hell of a mess to clean up.
But really, Pappy, I mean, aren't you sick of this coverage?
I am. Well, you know me. I've
Yeah.
been sick of it.
and
Jesus
and
Christ.
that has been the question of
That's
the day,
enough.
and just judging from our comments from our viewers that we've gotten in, they're pretty sick of it too.
Yeah. Well, and now you've got the MSN coming out, and now they're afraid of a big scare. The teenagers are going to die from it and all this.
Yeah. The new norm, stay at home. We'll bring it to you.
Let a dead dog
Here's a good
lie.
question, though. If they're bringing you all your food and groceries and this, that, and the other, how are you going to pay for it if you don't have a job?
Thank you. Then again, nobody's brought me any food or groceries or money or none of that. I mean,
Well, you can order. What do they call it, Karen? That we do use every once in a while.
DoorDash.
DoorDash. That's it.
Well, we just call it in to Kroger or HEB, and the Divine One makes a little putt down the boulevard and picks it up.
Let's face it, they're forcing us all into socialism.
By God, make me a sandwich or you will die. I kill you.
Special K. She
very
strikes again.
Yeah. Just
But
telling
anyway.
it like it is, folks.
We appreciate all of your comments,
We do.
and good or bad. We encourage you to send them in to us
Absolutely.
at Grandpa and Pappy at gmail.com. That's
Or
our
you can-
email address.
You can hit us up right on the line. We've got a beautiful website, www.grandpa, the letter N, grandpainpappy.com. And while you're there, push the big red button, subscribe, get thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, whatever. You've got
Just don't hit the
you've
middle
got-
one.
Yeah, don't hit the middle button. You don't like what pops up. You can leave comments,
Yeah, buddy.
suggestions, ideas, complaints, which know that we will deal with
Now
complaints.
that's the most important thing, everybody. We really want you to remember is this show is based on what your comments are, what your suggestions are for topics on the show, and we address them.
We couldn't do it without
And
you.
that's right, because our show is made up of your comments.
Yeah.
It's a chance to get your voice heard here on our podcast and throughout the internet
Which
when
is the
we post it.
premises of why we put this show together. That's exactly why we decided to go ahead
And we sat and we talked about putting this show together for about almost 2 years, right, Pappy?
yeah, a whole lot of whiskey and beer. I remember that.
A lot of drinking, thinking.
That's right.
But we weren't going to do it unless we both agreed that our program was going to be based on what our viewers' comments would be. And so far, you guys have really done an outstanding job.
You
and I
have. You
really
guys
want to
rock.
thank you from the
Yeah,
bottom of my heart.
Just keep speaking up because we are listening.
And the more subscribers we get to our YouTube channel, the more we can bring you. And man, we got some really good shows coming up in the very near future. Thomas Gabriel Cash, who is Johnny Cash's grandson is going to be joining us not too distant future to talk about his music career. And once you hear this guy sing, it will send chill bumps up and down your spine. Because
he's all over YouTube. Check him out.
Thomas Gabriel Cash.
You'll get the heebie-jeebies. Your hairs will stand up like porcupine quills.
Sounds just like his grandpa Johnny.
And also, I mean, the timing is right for this interview, brother, because right now they're doing Amazon Prime is featuring a show on the biography of
Johnny Cash's first wife.
That's right, Vivian. Yeah.
So anyway,
but be watching for that. We'll have other musical artists on as well. I mean, we've got all kind of big plans for this show.
We sure do.
And
but
for
we need your help.
So,
We need your help. Keep those cards and letters coming in, folks.
That's right.
And we have a show coming up on Memorial Day, if I can get it spit out here.
Yep.
Now, originally, Pappy, we were going to honor those who had fallen in battle and stuff like that, but I got to thinking about that and changed it. Not only do we want to honor those fallen heroes, but all of our folks out there who have relatives who have served in the United States military. We would like their pictures. Give us their name and when they served or if they fought in a war. We've already started getting some in from World War II. I know our buddy Big Billy sent in a picture of his stepson who unfortunately lost his life in Afghanistan.
Fallen hero.
Absolutely. But we're going to take our time and put the show together. Brian Emerton, our buddy up in Tennessee, is going to be putting together a music bed because the illustrious Special K over there is going to put together a montage of all the pictures that we get in.
She does that.
And Brian, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you, bro. And by the way, we're gonna feature Brian on the show one day. I mean, he said you don't want my ugly mug on there while you talk to him. And I said, well, put that good-looking woman of yours up there, and you can talk in the background. So,
Brian, come on, give me a break, bud.
We'll work it out.
We'll work it out. Well, let's take a look at some of the viewer comments we got on some of our past shows.
Okay,
go for it.
Roger O'Shea said on YouTube that the show on debt. Whatever. Money spending. Still a debit. Got him to thinking more of all the wasteful spending that Congress has done over the years. When he realized what a sham it's been, it scared the hell out of him.
Huh?
Kind of opened my eyes when I did a little research on it.
Yes, it did mine. I'm telling you. I'm not going to lie about it. Scared me to death. Ginger Lynch of Tyler agreed with my assessment of Dr. Yvette Lozano.
Absolutely.
Now, if you remember that, this is the doctor in Dallas who gave a speech to a protest rally of those wanting to get back to work, and she talked about the coronavirus, and it's not as bad as what it was.
Not a mask was worn by?
Yeah. She said this was reported by a conservative news source, the Texas Minute, today after her video aired. She was glad to see that she was able to get some results. Too bad many others are not. This physician treating patients infected with the coronavirus said she ran into interference from state bureaucrats, but Republican State Senator Bob Hall of Edgewood was able to clear the way for her to treat her patients as she saw fit.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks for that, Ginger. I enjoyed the hell out of the video myself.
Yeah,
the lady
very informative.
Yeah. Sense. Paulette Crowley said she enjoyed our motorcycle show. Says she can understand why her husband comes in cursing everything and everyone out after he takes a ride. I think that's probably anybody and everybody that rides two wheels down the street.
Hey, it's so Paulette.
We appreciate that, Paulette.
That's great. Gilbert C. said we need to, here we go. Gilbert C. said we need to back off our very biased opinions, Pappy, on Democratic congressmen. He says if we would just show them our support instead of our disdain for them, things in Washington would go much smoother. Now, Gilbert,
oh crap.
Thank
we
you,
need to
Karen.
put a muzzle on Special K.
No,
But Gilbert, we tell you that we will read your comments, good or bad, but we have a right to have a different opinion. So let's just say that we will agree to disagree on that, because Pappy and I are just going to continue to tell it like it is in our opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and since we're basing this on opinion, I respect what you just said.
Yeah.
But I'm also basing it on in reference or taken from context of what you just spoke. You start respecting our side, or if your side respects our side,
Very good point.
I'll respect yours.
Very, very good point.
Until then, don't count on it to happen. But we do welcome your opinion, your comments,
Good or bad.
good or bad, whether we agree with them or not. So, even though we're right and you're wrong, but yeah, we do. Yeah, thank you for sending that in, Gilbert. By the way,
Let's see here. Where are we at? I think we have one more.
oh, Tia Grant of Lubbock, Texas, one of my fellow Flatlanders, said she just watched our show on moms. Said she is sorry she didn't get a picture of her mom for us to feature because her mom is her best friend. She's suffering from cancer now, and she would have liked the show. And salute to moms on our show. And I'm sorry that your mom's fallen ill, and I'm sorry you missed out on that chance. But hey, there's more shows. Send us a picture anyway. Can't ever tell.
Well, it was a good show today. Don't forget to send those pictures of your soldiers
Yeah,
into us. Make sure you give us their name.
please do.
And what branch they served in, and if they were serving during the time of a war.
Yeah.
Let us know that too, so we can tell them.
Yeah.
But anyway, it should be a lot of fun.
And send those to grandpaandpappy@gmail.com. Or from the website. Either way.
Again, we want to thank our sponsor for coming on the show and helping us bring it to you.
Yeah, Circulo Tequila, straight out of Jalisco, Mexico, brought to you by M&L Distributors out of Odessa, Texas. Go to your fancy spirit shop or just your local rundown liquor store and tell them you want it.
Absolutely.
Tell them we sent you.
And we'd appreciate
Circulo
that.
Tequila, good stuff.
Pappy, our next show is going to be stretching it a little bit, and we really want our viewers out there to tell us what you think. And that is, what are the ramifications from the Flynn case unmasking going to be to the Obama administration?
Well, strictly my opinion, jail time, I hope.
That should be interesting, since most of the Obama administration officials have been named as being a part of the unmasking. And we'll go into what unmasking is and give you a little more information on our Monday show.
About to hit the fan, I do believe.
I think so. Yeah. Until then, everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And we want you to be safe, do things and do them thinking.
Common sense.
Absolutely.
The common sense way. And take care of one another, and know in your heart that we love hearing from you and we love you.
Absolutely.
Stay in touch.
Until then, we'll see you soon.